Hey, good morning, YouTubers. I'm here at the farm this morning, and I was, I got up since maybe 2 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I do get sleep, but when you gotta do what you do. But this morning, I want to speak to us from the whole aspect of sometimes you have to go it alone, right? Sometimes you have to go it alone. In life, in my personal life, I have found that oftentimes I would be too dependent, overly dependent. And that's what I'm saying. We should have each other, but overly dependent on maybe persons or people that, to be honest, they are more help than hindrance in my life, right? And I've looked at God doing a thing over the years that the people around me who were not contributing, adding value to my life, or I couldn't add value to the life because of bad attitudes, behaviors, and whatever and thing. I see like a shift always takes place. It's almost as if I outgo them. When you outgo people, and I say, well, wow, no, this is too much. I've had it. But guess what happened? Sometimes when you start taking decisions to, I call it declutter your life of certain people. Man, you love them, so you get along with them. What you find happening is that a lot of times you end up being alone for the time being. But hey, guess what? Sometimes you have to go it alone. But I find that it's in those moments, right? I'm still walking. It's in those moments when you have more alone time, that is where you start to reflect more on what you want out of life. You start to see those mishaps that you made, stuff that you did, that did not contribute to your development and your growth, spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychologically, mentally, all the alleys them, you see. And so this morning I just want to say that you must be willing to go it alone. And even that, because even when I went to Bible college, I went to Bible college, so that's why you see a lot of stuff I don't get into, religious wise, because I ain't got time for that. But when I went to college, I remember starting off, I was supposed to go with two of my brethren them, and it didn't work out, and I ended up went by myself. A situation happened, and I ended up had to go, without having, I guess, the comforts of my two brethren them going off the same time with me. But you see, sometimes you have to go it alone. Again, while I was in Bible college, as the years transition, a lot of people who were around me, people, situations happened with some of them couldn't help, and like people dropped out, people stopped coming, and so I find a lot of times I was in classes by myself again, but I just had to go it alone. You see, it's easy to be motivated when you have so many people and friends around you, but to me the greatest motivation that takes you through life is self-motivation. That even when everybody else is gone and you're left by yourself, you're left to your own vices or devices, you're left to your own thinking, it's just you there, you're left maybe after being around colleagues to on a job, you're left now without a job and you're home by yourself. To me, these are the perfect times in which you understand you have to go it alone, and you understand that this is the place and this is the time where you can grow. A lot of times, adversity and travesty is what human beings need to go. Sometimes I believe that, I think that's how we set up in life. God set it up so, the world set up so, the universe set up so. I don't know, but I believe that we have to have some level of independence, right? Be interdependent, yes, we need each other, but if you don't learn to get things done for yourself, if you always wait on somebody else to come along and give you a picker-upper, you're always saying, listen, okay, if I could just get this, and if you keep putting too much things in place, always needing to be between crowds, if you're not between a crowd, you don't feel appreciated. If you don't learn to love yourself and to do things that will build yourself, even if it means for the period you're going to be alone, then guess what? You would never ever develop that sense of self-independence that would last you, but most importantly, that would be very beneficial to you when you end up in areas, maybe outside the country, maybe university students, where you don't have the magnitude of friends or crowds or people familiar around you. That is the point. Come on, somebody. That is the point where you will have to go it alone. So I'm saying start making choices, not dependent on popularity and what people think about you, but on what is best for you at this point. What will get you where you are going at this point? Where are you going? Where do you need to do? Are the things that you're doing, are the people that you have around you building you, or are they breaking you, or are they carrying you back? And these are the things that I dialogue on. So I don't have time to waste, trying to gather crowds. Let me catch fish, a whole bungle together, because I don't want to be alone. Sometimes you need that time so that you could reflect and develop and learn. And something else, and this is me just being real, no rehearse and thing, this is straight off the top of my head. One of the things we need to learn is that stop seeking people's approval of you. You don't need to please people, because at the end of the day, as I tell people already, if you have to spend so much time convincing people that what you're doing is good, what you're doing gonna help, what you're going is, then it don't make no sense. As the saying goes, one person said, a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. They haven't really changed, and somebody could come and change them again. So listen, be yourself, be who God made you to be, learn to accept the lonely time and learn to go it alone. Because guess what? As you develop self-mastery and self-improvement and you go deeper in a relationship with God and intimacy, the people that are like-minded like you will find you. Because in order for things to change, you got to change. And whatever you become, as I speak about the law of attraction, will attract the type of people you need. So I'm just saying, man, start with us and so. Don't stress, no crowds, no crowds. Jesus, that's one thing about Jesus. When crowds get too big, he pull away for silence. He pulled away, he pulled away, he pulled away, he pulled away, he pulled away. Why? Because crowds, quantity, don't necessarily mean quality, or authenticity. It doesn't mean that every single person, the more crowds you have around you, is the more friends you have. That's not true. It's time for us to learn to go it alone. And God bless you. I hope this makes sense.